Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. All right. So how are the recordings? Are they clear enough? Is there something that you need clarification on? I can start with that.
No, they are fine.
They are fine. Eh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So today we're going to cover resource leveling. Then we start on project tracking.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think any of the recordings have resource leveling. Do they? Is there any recording that has that?
The last time we did resources, I think you hinted on resource leveling.
Yeah, but we didn't cover them we didn't cover it in detail.
In detail?
Yeah.
No. Yes.
So it's what we're going to cover today. Then we start on tracking the progress of the project.
Okay.
Yeah. So since it is online, it may not take 2 hours. We may use 1 hour, but we're going to try to cover up for what we missed on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to use a template which is online for just demonstrations. Then later on, we shall apply what we've learned on a specific project. Yeah. So yeah, when you go to create a new file, then here, if you connect it to internet, it will display templates. Yeah. Yeah. So if it's not displaying, we can try to search. There's one called commercialization. I think it's commercial construction. Okay, let me search for construction. Okay, I'm going to use this one with commercial construction. There are two, residential and commercial. I'm going to use commercial. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can click on create. Yeah, now we can first save our project. Yeah. Then do you see this here where I'm passing the cursor? This is a timeline. It may be consuming your space, so you can turn it by going to view. Then you uncheck timeline. So it will
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we want to do what they call resource leveling. Yeah. So resource leveling is where you want to execute the project without over constraining your resources or even underutilization of them. For example, you may find that one task is being allocated a lot of resources than what is required. Or you may find that one resource has been allocated a number of tasks that it can't handle. Either it will be over-exhausted or it will not be able to accomplish those ones. For example, you may have given the project manager to work on 2 concurrent tasks that are happening on the same day and same time. So now that means there is no way they are going to attend to 2 tasks at the same time. So that one may affect your project, in a certain way that either resources are going to be over constrained or like over exhausted, or you're going to underutilize them. That is if you assign a number of resources on just a single task. Yeah, so resource leveling is where now you want to evenly distribute. So you just want to reach that optimum point of utilization of your resources without over constraining them and without under utilization of them. Yeah, so that is the concept. Is it clear? Pardon?
Okay, I think there was a network problem. I didn't hear some things. I think there was a network problem. I didn't hear some things. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but I said resource leveling is where you want your resources to be evenly distributed, in that there is no over exhausting of your resources and there is no under utilization of such resources. Yeah, we said underutilization will happen if you get a single task and you assign a lot of resources on that single task. Then overexertion of resources will happen if you get one resource and you assign it to a number of tasks that it can't complete in that specified period of time. So when you do resource leveling, it means that you're going away with underutilization and over exhausting of your resources. So that is the background or the theory behind resource leveling.
Okay.
Yeah, hope it is now clear.
Yes.
Yeah, so now we're going to look at how do you know that I've overutilized my resources or I've underutilized my resources. You remember this column, the information column?
Yes.
Yeah, it will be giving us notifications about a particular task. For example, we can see here we have that red icon, which is kind of like a warning, and it is having a text on it. Yeah, so the text is
Yes.
saying this task has over allocated resources. You see that? Because we are
This
in
task
task,
has overallocated resources.
yeah,
Yes.
because we are in the Gantt chart and we see in the entry table. Yeah. Okay, first give me a minute. I allow this one also.
Okay.
Okay, I'm seeing is still joining, but let me hope the concept is clear.
Yes.
Yeah. So now our warning here is telling us the task has overallocated resources. And he said, what does that mean? It's going to be, there is going to be underutilization of your resources because you've overallocated resources onto a single task. Now you can see that the task is only going to be 2 days. But now let's try to check in the resources. You can see in the resources column, it is having numerous resources that have been allocated to it. Yeah, so the software can predict and is able to understand that you've overallocated resources. You can see the number of resources that we have here. Yeah, so according to the software, it is trying to warn you that you've overallocated resources onto that single task. Now that means you're going to underutilize your resources, and now that means you may be spending a lot of money onto a single, okay, like you're going to end up consuming a lot of money onto that project or that task because you're using a lot of resources. Yeah. Olala, can you hear us? You don't have audio icon. Okay, he's trying to join, but I think he has not allowed to call over internet in the audio. Yes, Olala, can you hear us now? Hello. Yes, Olala, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing.
Okay, good enough. We had not gone that far, so you can easily catch up. We're going to repeat what we've spoken.
Unfortunately, I'm traveling, but I will try my best to be.
Yeah, maybe you can just mute in case you have any question. And maybe there's a lot of noise. You can use the chat.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's okay. You can mute. Okay. Let's continue. Yeah. So Olala, as before you joined, we are trying to explain what resource leveling is all about.
Okay.
Because it is what we're going to cover today. Yeah. So we said that resource leveling is where we want to ensure that there is optimum utilization of resources. By optimum utilization of resources, we mean there is no underutilization of resources and there is no overexertion of resources. Yeah. So underutilization of resources happens if you assign a number of resources onto a single task. For example, a task is required to be done in one day, but you realize that you've assigned maybe more than 5 resources onto it. Now that means you are wasting resources, you're wasting money, and also you underutilizing those resources. Yeah. Then the overexertion of resources will happen if on a single resource you are assigning a lot of tasks that it can't handle. Yeah, so that's when we're going to experience overexertion of resources. So when you do resource leveling, it's going to go away with underutilization and overexertion of resources. Sometimes it is referred to as resource smoothing or smoothing. That's how they try to call it in different books or different literature. So if you come across resource smoothing or smoothing, it is the same as resource leveling. Yeah. So now we said, how do you know we have overallocated resources or have under allocated resources? Olara, can you mute?
Maybe you can mute him.
Yeah?
Okay, I'm going to mute you. In case you want to raise an issue, you'll use the chat. Eh?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so now we are saying, how do you know that you have over allocated resources or you've underutilized them? Yeah, so we are here on underutilization of resources. So the moment you go to the moment you are under Gantt chart and you are under the entry table where you're seeing the tasks from, like where we are, and you go to the information column and you see this symbol and the warning saying this task has overallocated resources. So now that means on a single task, you put a lot of resources than what is required. And what does that mean? We said it means that you're going to waste money, you're going to waste resources, and also you're going to underutilize resources. Like a task like this one, which is only 2 days. Though it is not, we shouldn't judge about the duration because you may find that the task is 1 day, but due to complexity, it needs more experienced personnel. But the software will just try to warn you. Then the decision will be about you on whether you should do resource leveling or you should leave the resources the way they are allocated. Now, like this one, it is going to be done in 2 days, but you can see that there are numerous resources that have been allocated onto that. Yeah, so the software will try to complain about that. Yeah, so that is an example of underutilization of resources. Also here, it is the same thing. It means that you've overallocated a lot of resources on a single task, so they will not be performant. Some of the resources will not be doing anything, and also you'll be using a lot of money. Yeah. Now we're going to see another scenario where we are over exhausting our resources. Can you now see the screen? As if that, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can still see it.
Okay. Yeah, so now we're going to see how do you know that I've over-exhausted resources. So you have to change the view from the Gantt chart view to resource usage. Yeah, so when you go to resource usage, you are able to see each resource, the amount of work that each resource is doing. For example, here, you can see different resources. For example, this, we have VC project management. Then these are the tasks. And on each task, it can show you the distribution of like how many hours is that resource supposed to accomplish on that task. Yeah, so those ones that where you see red, it means that there is an issue of overallocation. Yeah, so now that means that resource has been overassigned a lot of resource, a lot of tasks. The other one, it was a task has been overallocated a lot of resources, but now this one, a single resource has been given a lot of tasks to be accomplished. Yeah, so how do you, let me hope that the difference is clear about the one which is complaining about overallocation, overallocating resources on a single task, then this one where one resource has been overassigned tasks to be accomplished. Yeah, so how do you go away with this? By doing resource leveling. How do you do resource leveling? Yeah, it's what we're going to do now. So you come and change to resource tab, then under level, under the level group here, you can see that we have level resource, we have level all, we have leveling options, and we have clear leveling. Yeah, so these are things that we're going to cover. Yeah. So what's the difference between level resource, level all, and leveling options? The first one, when you say level resource, the first one, it's going to level that particular resource that you've chosen. So now that means on that resource that has been overassigned tasks, it's going to redistribute that task by splitting the task or by pushing it start and finish. For example, if the resource has been assigned two tasks that are concurrent, for example, task A is starting from Monday to Friday. Then task B is starting from Monday up to Wednesday. Yeah, so you can see that it's not going to be able to attend to both tasks. So what it will do, it's going to push the start of this other task that is starting from Monday to Wednesday. And maybe that task now will start after the other one has been completed on Friday. Or what it will do, it can split the task. For example, on Monday, this task that starts from Monday to Friday, it can push it to start on Tuesday. But this one that starts on Monday to Wednesday, it starts on Monday, only works for one day, then it will be continued after some time. So now that means there will be some increased duration within the moment it is doing resource leveling. So at the end of it all, you realize that now your resource is no longer allocated like a lot of work. Okay, Olala is requesting for, okay, the recording will be uploaded in case you've been offline. It's okay, you find the recording and you try to catch up from there. Yeah, so is level resource clear? Brian?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you go
Mm.
to level resource, it's going to list different resources to you. Then now let me level one resource that has been overallocated resources. This one, which is BC project management. So we can look for it, project management, and we say level now. Yeah. So have you observed something?
I see the time has
I can undo. Then I redo.
the time has reduced to 4 hours.
Yeah, the time has reduced to 4 hours, and also the green, the warning, the red warning has gone away. But time reduces to 4 hours, but there is a way it pushes the like we've explained earlier. There is a way now it pushes the start and the finish of the task that that resource was allocated to. And so instead of doing 12 hours at a go, it will do 4 hours until the task is done, but without being overexhausted. Yeah, so that is level resource. So if we level another one, for example, this one, which is GC rough carpenter crew, and you come to level resource, you look for it. GC rough carpenter crew, this, say level now, it will also be leveled. So in case you want to level like all of them or like more than this, you can select, you can use shift and select more than one. Then you click on level now. Yeah. So is that one clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to go away with resource leveling, you can click on clear leveling. Yeah, so when we do clear leveling, you can see that we go back to when the resource
where
you've been overassigned numerous tasks. Okay. Any question before we move on to the next one?
No question.
Okay. So now let's go to level all. Yeah. So the option for level all is for the entire project. So now this one is going to adjust any task. Remember, we have two problems where there is underutilization and overexhausting of resources. And so for the level all, it's going to look into any space where there is overutilization and where there is underutilization and overexhausting of resources, then it adjusts them accordingly. But it will mostly push the start and the finish of the activity. That's what it will push. It may not push the duration, but it will try to push the start and the finish of the activity. Yeah, so the way we can see that this has changed, we can go back to the Gantt chart view, Gantt chart. Yeah. So you look at the number of days that we have in here. I think them 344 days for the entire project. Now let's do resource leveling.
Yes.
We say level all. Have you observed any changes?
Yes, it has increased to 355.
Yeah. So now that
from 344 to 355.
Yeah, that's
by
what
11
happens.
days.
That's what happens when you do resource leveling. So now, fine, we've seen the duration has increased. So why do you think you may need to do resource leveling? Because we've seen in most cases it is increasing the duration. Yeah. So why do you think it is important to do resource leveling? The main importance is you may you may want to compare.
Overutilize or underutilize the resources. Then also when you're doing it, hello? Then also when you're doing, for example, if you're going to do a project and you do resource leveling, so it can give you like a leeway, like a number of days where you won't be like overworked or you won't over your resources. So in case you get that project, you can easily go back to where you were and you kind of reduce, though you've seen it is 355 days, but you know that still with 344, you can still finish the work. So it kind of gives you that leeway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so now here you can see that if I don't overexhaust my resources, I'm going to take more 11 days. Then now you try to analyze and see. If I take more 11 days, will it cost more? Like, am I going to enter into liquidated damages period? If you're not entering into liquidated damages period, you may decide to work on just optimum utilization of resources. But if you see that if you do resource leveling, it's going to make you maybe finish after 2 months. So now that means you're going to be paying liquidated damages and everything. So you may decide to work, but when you are over exhausting your resources, but just to finish in time. So the decision will always be on your side. Yeah, but it can give you an idea on how many days is it going to take you in case you don't over constrain your resources. Yeah. So now we can clear leveling, then we go to leveling options. So when you clear leveling, you can clear for entire project or for selected tasks. We want to clear for entire project. And you say, okay, so we go back to the 144 and our warnings come back. Yeah. So for leveling options, yeah, it is also like the same as either level resource or level all, but now this one is giving you more options and more settings, more customization. Yeah, so it is better leave it to manual. If you put it automatic, it is almost the same as level all, the way we've seen. Yeah, so put it to manual. Then after that, you're going to get more options. Like look for overlocations on a day by day. You can look on overlocation on hour by hour, or week by week, or month by month. Yeah, so that one will depend on you. Then another one, you may want to first clear leveling values before leveling, like what we're trying to do. So instead of always try to clear leveling, you can just check this so that in case it is doing leveling, it's going to first clear the previous leveling so that it goes back to where you still have mistakes, then it starts from there, which is better. Yeah, then leveling range, you can level the entire project or you can level from a specific day, like from a specific day to another day, like in different range, POD range. Yeah, let me leave it to level entire project. Then now leveling order. So this one may work if maybe you assign different priorities to your tasks. So it will first look into the priority to first level the tasks with high priority than the other ones. Yeah, and many more now, like this one, level only within a variable Slack. Do you know what a Slack is?
Yes, I think Slack is that period whereby okay, it is that period whereby even if you do not start the project on time, you can still you still have that free time kind of to do your work even if you don't start it on the assigned period, so it won't affect the completion date.
Yeah, so okay, every task has a slack. So a slack is that period in that, okay, the number of days or the duration that you can delay a task but without affecting that delay for the entire project. For example, if a project has 7 days, okay, has 5 days, as the duration, yeah? And I'm supposed to start it on Monday, then by Friday, I have to be done with it. So you may find that even if I start it on Wednesday, I'm able to finish it on Friday. Yeah, so now that means
Yes.
those first 2 days is like the slack. So even if I delay that task by 2 days, the entire project will not be affected. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why
Yes.
you see that critical tasks have 0 slack. What does that mean? It means that for them, never delay them. If you delay them by 1 day, that 1 day will be affecting the entire project. Yeah, so those are critical tasks. For them, they have 0 slack. So you never delay them in any single day. Yeah. So now those are the other options which are there. Then after you choosing your required options, you click on level all or okay. Yeah. So for now, I'm going to clear cancel to do canceling, and I clear leveling. Yeah. So any question on resource leveling? If that one is clear, we can now move on.
Yes.
Yeah, we can now move on project tracking. Yeah?
There is a note I see. Is it a note on column 8? Sorry, on row 8. There's something which is brown in color. I don't know what that means. Oh, I see it is notes.
This
Something not monthly.
this one.
Yes.
Okay. This one is you can link to an external document. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show it to you. Maybe in the video. I don't know that we covered it last time, but in case, for example, maybe your first task is, for example, you have a task that is signing the agreement document or the contract document. Yeah? Then maybe you store the document on Google Drive. But now you want to be here and you are able to access it directly without you looking for it. You want to link to an external document. Eh? Yeah. So you just come, select a task, right click on it, then go to link. It depends on the version that you're having. Eh? There are some version that calls it hyperlink. But now this is 2019, calls it link. Yeah. Then now from here, you can link either to a website or to an external document. For example, if I come to under documents and I have a certain document, maybe like Beamwork, okay, like CAD, and that's what I wanted to link to. Then I press OK. You see this? It comes, eh? And so just click on it once, then it will open with Microsoft Word or any other. Yeah. So here, this column can have external link, or you can just double click on the activity. Okay. Okay, you can just double click on the activity like this one. Eh? Then it will give you a dialog with more fields. Then you come under notes. Then you type a note. Yeah, yeah, like this is our note. And you say okay. You see? Yeah, so it can help you just to remind you. Like now this one here. It has monthly request for payment can be entered as a recurring task. See the rep topic, enter recurring task. So you see, you can put any particular note that you want. Eh? Yeah, or you can link to an external notes app. Eh? Yeah, the way we've done here, you can link to an entire document, you can link to a website, you can link to anything else. Yeah. So now let's go to marking, to project tracking. Eh? Yeah.
Okay.
So in case we want, for example.
Yes.
You have any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Under resource names, I see, for example, row 3,
Mm,
project management.
mm,
Then I see general project management. General project management is allocated 25%,
yeah.
but project management is not given any allocation. Does it mean that he or she is 100% available?
The other now it means it is 100%. You remember the other units you asked about, the maximum column when
Yes.
you go to resource?
Yes.
Yeah, that is it. So for them, they're having 100%. Then those ones that have 100%, it doesn't display 100. It only displays for those that have less.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And you can like type it manually to show that this department will not be 100% on this.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. I think now we can continue. Yeah. So
Okay.
I was saying, imagine a scenario that you've started a project in April, 1st April. Then that project is going to get done in December of the same year. Then when it reaches June, you want to understand your progress. How are you moving? Then you also want to analyze, is my speed okay? Will I be able to finish in time? How is my performance? Yeah, so that's when you do the project tracking. So it's what we're going to do. Yeah, so there are different steps that are taken. Then the first one is you need to have a schedule completed for the entire project. The way you're seeing this one,
Yes.
you have to prepare a schedule and it is done. Then the next thing that you have to do is you make that schedule, set it as a baseline. Yeah, so how do you set it as a baseline? You go to project, then you come under set baseline. Then we're going to set baseline. But before we do that, you never know, there might have been someone who has set any baseline on the same file. So it is better you first clear baseline so that it clears any baseline which is there. In case there is no baseline, it is okay, it will just stay the same. So to be on the safe side, you clear baseline, then after you go to set baseline. Then you set the baseline for the entire project. It is possible to set baseline for selected tasks, but for our own case, we want to set baseline for entire project. Yeah, so you leave the settings the way they are to entire project, place okay. Yeah, so now nothing has changed, but this has been made a baseline. How do you know? You come, right click here, like here. Then you go to tracking. Then also, or another way of going about it, you can come and change from Gantt chart, then you go to tracking Gantt. See that? This is a better option. It shows the graphical representation. Yeah, it's called the tracking Gantt.
Okay.
Yeah, not the,
yes.
not the Gantt chart. We've been in Gantt chart.
Yes.
You can't see anything here. Then when we come to tracking Gantt, see that our graphical, the bars, they have got thicker ones or the gray ones below each bar. Yeah, so that is the baseline. So the baseline will act as a reference for your tracking or for you understanding how you're progressing. So it will stay there even if you adjust that time and date, it will show you how you variating from your baseline. That's the importance of setting it as a baseline. Then the tasks that you see in red, those are the critical tasks. It means those ones should never be delayed. In case you delay one of them, even if by 1 day, that 1 day will affect the entire project. They have zero slack, and they need to be allocated resources before you allocate to any other tasks because they are critical activities. Yeah. So this bar down here, these ones, those are the ones that indicate the baseline. Yeah.
The
So
blue
that's
bars.
no, the dark ones below.
The dark. I'm
The
seeing
ones that
red.
are
I'm
gray.
seeing red,
Mm.
gray. I'm not
Okay,
seeing
you see
any
like
gray.
on red.
I'm seeing.
Okay, let me first
Yes,
go
I
back
see
to
red.
Gantt chart. See Gantt chart. If let me try to zoom in. See the way the bars look like. There's nothing below them, right? There's nothing below
Gantt chart.
them.
Wait a minute.
But when you go to tracking Gantt, you see they have something below them. Eh? Yeah, so that is the one that shows baseline. We can even try to be in tracking Gantt. We go back to project, go to set baseline, and we clear the baseline for entire project. You see the way they look before setting the baseline. Yeah. But when we set baseline, say okay, they show up.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next thing that we need to do is to update the project. Updating the project, I mean, it is about you, the project manager, the person in charge of this, to come and mark the activities that have been completed by 100%. If the activity has not been completed by 100%, you can mark it with any other percentage below 100%. For example, you may find that the first task has been completed, and maybe the first 3 ones have been completed, but now the next ones have been moved for only 20%. So you can mark those ones. Yeah, so how do we add that? It is better done when you are under tracking. Okay, you can use the Gantt chart. We can stay in the entry table. Even if you are in the entry table, but as long as you add the column called percent complete. See that one? Yeah, so I'm in Gantt chart view under the entry table. How do you change tables? Tables are changed from here. You right click here, then you can change tables. Yeah, so we are in the entry table, but we add percent complete column. This was not there, it was missing. Yeah, so now we start assigning particular percentages. So when you assign percentages, don't assign them to these levels. Eh? You know the difference between these and the other ones are tasks. These are the tasks. Yeah. So when you complete all these tasks, you will be done with general conditions. Yeah. When you complete all these ones, you'll be done with long-range procurement. So when you put in percentage, don't put on these ones that are bolded. You put on tasks. Yeah. For example, the first task has been completed by 100%. So you come up here under schedule. Then you see these bars 0%, 25, 50, 75, by this 100%. So if you add it here, the percent completion, the percent completion will see it will update to 100%. Then also that level. See, for one task it is 100%, but the overall general conditions is at 13%. Then the overall project is still at 0%. It's not that it is at 0, but it is like at 0 point, maybe 0 something. It means that we've covered something very small for it to affect the completion of the entire project. Yeah, so let's assume maybe all this level was completed, like 100%. See that? You can select all of them and mark 100%. So you can see that it is at 100% complete. Then that level of general condition is at 100%. But see the general the overall project is at 2%. See that?
Yes.
So now we can say that after that, maybe the task under here is at 75. Then this one is at also 75. Then this one is at 50. So you may wonder what if what I want to input is not part of these rows. You just type it here. Even if it is 22%, even if it is 18%. Yeah, so that's how you input it. So this we jump it with it's a level. So we input on an exact task. Yeah. So you can observe that when you look at this side, the bars get another line, another thick line in between. Yeah, and that one will mark progress. If you look at the ones which are 100% complete, just that they are small. Let me try to zoom in. See, it is running from the start to the end. But this one that are not 100%, you see it is running up to somewhere. Yeah. So that is we've updated our project in terms of percent complete. So we've marked progress. See the ones that have 100%, they are ticked under here. Yeah. So
Yes.
now after that, now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go and update our project in terms of find the activity can be 100% complete, but did it start on intended date? Was it finished with the same duration? So you have to update your project also about that. So in order to do that, you change the table. You are under Gantt chart, but you change that table from entry to tracking. Yeah. So you can see that the tracking table has more columns. And one of those is actual start and actual finish. Then also you can add actual duration. Yeah, it is here, actual duration. Yeah. So when we are scheduling, we add start, we add finish, we add duration. But now this one is having actual start, actual finish, and actual duration. So if you don't change anything, it will go with the default one. Yeah. But now what if they find the task has been completed, it's at 100%, but it took 5 days. See that? Yeah, you enter 5 days, you press OK. Yeah. So if it will never finished on 24th March, but it finished maybe on you can edit this date. For example, from 24th, and you said finished on 28th. So now that means by default, it's going to push the actual start, not so? The duration may stay the same, but now the start and finish has been adjusted. It means that it is started maybe later on, but it took the same duration as required. Yeah. So you can as well see maybe that this one that was supposed to take 4 days, we actually got a lot of maybe machinery and we did it in 1 day. This one for 2 days, we are maybe done in 3 days. See like that. So when you're changing here, you can see the actual work is changing also. Yeah. So the actual cost is not changing because we're using a template and we didn't enter the actual cost under resources. But in case you attached cost to your resources and you realize that the activity that was supposed to take 4 days, it has taken 10 days. It means that you've consumed more resources and the cost will go up, the actual cost will go up. Yeah. So now you update the whole project accordingly, according to what you you actually did. So you can see that the moment you update this, also the level will update and also the entire project will automatically update. Yeah. So now how do you know whether you're performing well or whether you're not performing well? Now that's when you change to another table called variance. Yeah. So this variance table will have start, finish, baseline start. That is the start according to the baseline that we set. Then baseline finish. That is the finish for the baseline that we set. Now it has start variance. Yeah. So now this one will show you how are you variating from the start. For example, if the project was supposed to start, I can go back to tracking and I change for one that we can see. Okay, this done 5 days, but never started on 24th. It started maybe on 27th.
Started
Okay.
or finished? Up to finish?
No, I'm supposed to. I want to change this, and we have a look at it. Instead of starting on 20th, on 18th, it started on 20th. The first activity. Yeah. So let's go back to variance. You see now there is start variance of 2 days.
Yes.
You've seen that, eh? Yeah. So
Yes.
when you are under variance, a positive is bad and a negative is good. How? If you say now here it is showing 2 days, it means that you added 2 days, that is plus 2 days. But let me go to the next activity. I go back to tracking. Then I go to the second one. Now I try to show that it is started on 20th instead of 23rd. I'm not going to change the duration. I'm going to leave the same duration. And I come back to variance. See, it will have negative 1 day.
And
It means that you started less by 1 day, which is good to you.
yes.
Yeah. So now this will give you like a detailed explanation, or like you are able to understand. You are able to understand how many days were you late by, what. Then it will show you the one for the entire project according to where you've reached. So it will show you that the entire project is delayed by 2 days. I could have added more 2 days than the one that we've set activities to be accomplished on. Yeah. So it will be showing you the start variance, the finish variance, and also you can add a table called variance duration. In case it's not, okay, I think it's called duration variance. Yes, duration variance. Yeah, so this column will show you how is your duration being valid. Yeah? Where you see negative, it is good. Where you see positive, it is not good. It means that you added more days. You see negative, it means that you worked before. Yeah, so now you can see that the entire level here, we have -2, meaning that that entire level, we finished it 2 days earlier. That's what it means. Yeah. So.
And what about the finish variance? Because I see start variance, for example, for your case, there is 2 days. Then finish variance, there is 3.76 days.
Yeah.
What does the finish variance mean?
It means that how are you variating from your finish? It depends on the way things can happen. See, we may schedule a project to start on Monday and it's supposed to finish, to get done by Friday. Those are 5 days. But now what if the duration stays the same, but now it starts on Wednesday? it means that the finish is going to be pushed by 2 days and also the start, but the duration has not been pushed. Not so?
Mm.
Yeah, but now there are some times when the duration has been pushed. For example, it has not taken 5 days. It has taken only 4 days. It means that there is a finish variance, but there is no start variance. So there is a finish variance and a duration variance. So it all depends.
Okay.
Yeah. So it will only be 2 sides being affected. Either it will be start and duration or finish and duration.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we're going to add another, we're going to do just a simple introduction to reporting. Okay, just to see the project progress in reporting, because now you find it is in the
Okay.
table, but it is hard to analyze. Yeah.
Yes.
So we shall have a full session about about reports, but now we're going to see just a simple introduction to reports. Yeah. So there are different types of reports that we can generate from MS project. Yeah. When you come to under new report, you can have a blank report. A blank report is one that you create and you can add customized like views. I can add a table about something. I can add a chart. I can add anything I want onto that report. That's a blank report. Then a chart report, it will give you a template of a chart, but it is you to decide what do you want to draw against what. That is a chart report. Then a table also, it will give you a blueprint of a table. Then you decide how many columns do you want to display and which kind of column do you want to display. Then a comparison report will compare two things, like you have two charts that you're trying to compare to each other. Yeah. So now there are also others that are already predefined. Now, when you come to dashboards, there is burn down, there is cost overview, there is project overview, there is upcoming tasks and workflow. Then you may also want to generate reports about resources. So you come under resources and you get a report about overallocated resources, and also you can get a resource overview. Yeah, there are also particular reports about costs, that is cash flow, cost overruns, and the value report, resource cost overview, task cost overview. Yeah, also in progress reports and very many. But now here, the one that we're interested in is called project overview. Yeah, there are also others that are not visible here. You just come to more reports, then it will show you more reports from here. And you are able to select any kind of report that you want to use. So you go to dashboard and you go to project overview. Yeah. So now it will give us a kind of rough report about our project. So it will show us the percent complete. Then here it will draw for us kind of like for each level of the tasks here. It will show you the percent completion of each level. Yeah, so you may find that it may be hard for you to find the information is there, but now you may have to first paste it in Excel, then you draw a chart. You don't need to do that. You just need to come and look at the project overview. Then here to show us that the general conditions are there at 90%. Long lead, another name is at 60%, then another level at 9, then others at 000%. Yeah. So yes.
I beg your pardon on you said here on the x-axis, it shows us tasks, sorry, levels, not tasks.
On the x-axis.
X, yes.
1 year.
It shows us levels, not tasks.
It is showing us levels.
Okay.
Yeah. According to the project, but you see here there is what they call field list. When you tap in a chart, it will appear. Okay, if you close it by mistake, you tap in a chart, right click and go to show field list. Yeah. So we're not going to go so much in detail like for today, but from here, you can select what should be displayed on the chart. Yeah, so you can even change and say, I don't want percent completion. I want work, maybe remaining hours. Or I want actual work. You just come to this side and check it. Yeah, so you can see that here it is percent complete that has been checked here. But in case we
Yes.
want to look at, okay, percent work complete instead of the other one, instead of the percent complete, now it will change. And you think it is using a different color, though it may have the same percentage since we didn't change the work from resources, but it changes. So now nothing is selected, so it can't draw a chart. Maybe these concepts are under value and value analysis, which you haven't covered, but in case it's what you want to display, it will display that. Or in case you just want to display duration variance, it will show you duration variance. Yeah, just that now we are using a template which we didn't over edit. So now it may not give us meaningful charts, but you've got the concept, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is a brief introduction to reports. And the next session, we shall cover reports. Then also we cover value analysis. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be it for today since it's online. And also,
Okay.
yeah. So do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. So our next
Yes.
session is on Saturday. Then,
Okay.
yeah, the time will be communicated earlier. And also the link will be
Okay.
shared.
Okay.
Yeah. So in case you can't make it in time, you can just easily communicate.
Communicate.
Yeah. So that
Yes.
and maybe get
Yes.
started and record.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good evening.
You too.